Welcome back. Imagine a machine so powerful, so aggressive, and so brutally capable that it doesn't just drive over terrain, it dominates it. A vehicle that looks like it was designed for another planet, built to conquer mud, rock, ice, and chaos without hesitation. At first glance, it feels unreal, but what you're about to see is the 2026 to 27 Caterpillar EARTHCLAW 6x6, and it might just be the most insane off-road monster ever built. Now here's where things get interesting. This isn't just another oversized truck with big tires and a loud engine. The EARTHCLAW was designed with a completely different mindset. It wasn't built to impress. It was built to survive. And the deeper you look into it, the more you realize this machine changes everything we thought we knew about off-road engineering. From the very first moment you see it, the design hits you. This massive, aggressive, almost animal-like. The front grille looks like a mechanical jaw, ready to bite into anything in its path. The body is armored, angular, and purpose-built, with no unnecessary curves or decoration. Every line, every panel, every bolt has a reason to exist. But that's not even the most shocking part, because underneath that brutal exterior lies a 6x6 drivetrain system that completely redefines traction. Unlike traditional 4x4 systems, the EARTHCLAW uses 6 independently powered wheels, each capable of adjusting torque in real time. That means if one wheel loses grip, the others instantly compensate. It doesn't slip. It doesn't struggle. It adapts. And what happens next when it hits extreme terrain surprised even the engineers. Picture this: deep mud that would swallow a normal truck in seconds. The EARTHCLAW doesn't slow down. It crawls forward like a living creature, its massive tires digging, gripping, pulling. The suspension stretches and compresses like it's breathing. It's not just driving. It's crawling with intent. But here's where it gets even more insane. The suspension system isn't just strong. It's intelligent. Each wheel is mounted on a hydraulic arm that can adjust height, angle, and pressure independently. That means the vehicle can literally reshape itself depending on the terrain. Climbing over jagged rocks, it lifts and angles each wheel for maximum grip. Crossing uneven ground, it stabilizes itself automatically. And yes, it can tilt. Not in a dangerous way, but in a controlled, calculated way that keeps the body level even when the ground isn't. It feels almost unnatural to watch, like the machine understands balance better than a human ever could. But the real reason this machine exists is something very few people know. It wasn't originally designed for civilian use or even recreational off-roading. The EARTHCLAW was created for extreme industrial environments, places where traditional vehicles simply fail. Remote mining zones, disaster recovery areas, frozen wastelands, and deep forests where there are no roads and no second chances. And that changes everything about how it's built. The engine, for example, isn't just powerful. It's relentless. A massive turbocharged diesel system designed to run for days without stopping. It produces enormous torque at low speeds, which is exactly what you need when climbing, pulling, or crawling through resistance. Speed doesn't matter here. Control does. But that's not even the most surprising detail, because despite its size and power, the EARTHCLAW is incredibly precise. The steering system allows for tight maneuvering, even in spaces where a vehicle this large should never fit. It can pivot, adjust, and move with a level of control that feels almost impossible. And then there's the tires. These aren't ordinary off-road tires. They're custom-designed, reinforced, and adaptable, built to handle extreme pressure, sharp rocks, deep mud, and even ice. Some versions even include adjustable air pressure systems, allowing the driver to change tire stiffness on the fly. Soft for sand, hard for rock, balanced for everything else. But what happens when you combine all of this together is where things get truly unbelievable. The EARTHCLAW doesn't just go over obstacles, it erases them. Large boulders that would stop a normal truck become stepping stones. Steep inclines that look impossible become just another path forward. Even water crossings feel effortless, as the vehicle pushes through with unstoppable force. And yet, there's still something even more impressive coming. Inside the cabin, everything changes. You expect something rough, industrial, uncomfortable, but instead you find a surprisingly advanced control environment. Digital displays, real-time terrain data, and system diagnostics all working together to give the driver complete awareness. It's not just about driving anymore. It's about commanding a machine. And here's a detail most people miss. The EARTHCLAW can actually predict terrain behavior. Using sensors and onboard systems, it analyzes ground resistance, slope angles, and traction conditions before the wheels even touch certain surfaces. That means it's not reacting, it's preparing. And what happened during early testing made headlines in engineering circles. In one extreme scenario, the EARTHCLAW was pushed into terrain specifically chosen to stop it. Deep trenches, unstable rock formations, and shifting mud layers designed to trap heavy vehicles. But instead of getting stuck, it adapted. Slowly, methodically, almost patiently, it found its way through. Not fast, not aggressive, just unstoppable. But that's still not the craziest part. Because the EARTHCLAW isn't just about raw power or advanced systems. It's about resilience. Every component is designed to take damage and keep going. Reinforced underbody, protected drivetrain, sealed electronics. Even if something fails, the vehicle can often compensate and continue. It's built for situations where failure isn't an option. And that brings us to a surprising truth. This machine is changing how industries think about mobility. In places where helicopters were once the only option, vehicles like the EARTHCLAW are becoming a new solution. Cheaper, more reliable, and capable of carrying heavy loads across impossible terrain. But wait, because there's something even more unexpected. Some experimental versions of the EARTHCLAW are being tested with hybrid power systems, combining diesel strength with electric precision. That means quieter operation, better efficiency, and even more control in delicate environments. And if that technology evolves further, we might be looking at the future of extreme vehicles. Now imagine this convoy of EARTHCLAWs moving through a frozen landscape. Snowstorms, ice, zero visibility. Conditions where survival itself is a challenge. And yet, these machines keep moving. Steady, controlled, unstoppable. It almost feels like they were made for it. But the most insane feature, the one that truly sets this machine apart, is its ability to adapt in real time without human input. Not just reacting to obstacles, but actively choosing the best path forward. It's not quite autonomous, but it's getting close. And that raises a question that few people are asking: what happens when machines like this become fully independent? Because if something this powerful can think, adapt, and move on its own, the possibilities are endless, and maybe a little terrifying. But for now, the EARTHCLAW remains one of the most extreme examples of human engineering. A machine built not just to explore the limits, but to erase them completely. It doesn't care about roads. It doesn't need paths. It creates its own way forward. And as technology continues to evolve, machines like this are only going to get more advanced, more capable, and more unbelievable. So the next time you see a rugged landscape and think, nothing could possibly get through that, just remember, there's already something out there that can. And it's called the EARTHCLAW.